Hey, what's up everybody? This is Jumpin here, and this is going to be episode 9 of Fun with Guns, the series where you pick the gun, I play with the gun, and I tell you what I think about the gun. Today we're going to be using the N7 Crusader, one of the special N7 guns that you get from commendation packs. I know this is a very hated gun, definitely one of my least favorite guns in the game, to be honest, so thanks guys for voting for it. I guess it's really not that bad. The attachments I'm going to be using for it is going to be pretty much the piercing and extended barrel. As you can see, the stats on this piece of shit, it's, I don't know, it weighs a fucking ton. That's the first thing. Alright, let me go ahead and show you my human infiltrator build. That's the character I highly recommend for this. I'm going to be using damage, recharge speed, and then bonus power for tactical cloak. You definitely need the recharge speed just because this thing, like I said, it weighs as much as a tank. So, you know, it's something you got to keep in mind. And then for the cryo blast, which is very important, you want to go for radius, cryo explosion for more damage, and then frozen vulnerability for more damage and armor weakening. Pretty nice, like overall. I really like cryo blast on this guy. And then finally, for sticky nates, you're going to want, what I like to go for is I like to go for damage, and then it's up to you if you want armor piercing. I prefer the max grenades, just because, I don't know, I always think 3 nades are better than 2. And then finally, I highly recommend proximity trap. This makes these grenades really godly. What you can do with them is that, you know, the problem with sticky nates, they don't have much radius, but what's good about that is that you can actually throw it at the ground and it will instantly explode. I'll get into that in a second. Alright, for the alliance training, I just go for weapons damage and then power damage. You might want to go for the capacity, but this thing weighs so much anyway, who gives a fuck? I just prefer the weapons damage in that case. You know, like, I'm going to be negative no matter what I do practically. Alright, so for the ammo, I'm going to recommend incendiary rounds, shotgun rail lamp 3, and then one of my favorite infiltrator, non-Solarian infiltrator armor bonuses is shield power cells. Highly recommend that. It's very important for Solarian, for Geth infiltrators, and, you know, really any infiltrator. That is a very good, you know, armor bonus, just because it's going to allow your shield to come back, you know, very quickly, and, you know, it's going to help you stay alive longer. All right, what I really like about this build is that, you know, one thing I really like about it, now honestly, this Crusader gun really only works well, in my opinion, on a human infiltrator. You know, as you guys might know, I really like Shotgun Infiltrator. It's one of my favorite builds in the whole game. Probably my favorite character is a Solarian with a shotgun. But this gun, you know, it just does not work well against, it just really does not work well on a Solarian. He relies highly on his ability to use his powers quite a bit for energy drain, things like that. Where this character kind of doesn't. I mean, it has grenades, which doesn't require power. It has Cryoblast, which has an extremely quick power recharge. I think it's like a second if you have 200%. It's really, really fast. And, you know, it's just things like that. And what's nice about, you know, the human is that, you know, you're going to be able to roll, do all that kind of stuff like that. So this build in general I really like. This is like a really good Claymore shotgun build too. And the other great thing is with the Cryoblast, you know, that can actually stun your enemies for you, freeze them if they have no, you know, and Reapers, of course, that's what we're playing against if you can't tell on Fire-Based Giant. You know, like, they actually really don't move very well. This is what it is. And then, like, the sticky nades will also come in handy. They really do. Really, to be honest, if you guys were wondering this, like, honestly, this class, and that was a really nice little stick there. This class is actually, in my opinion, the best in the game for doing cryo explosions. Now, you might think the Quarian Infiltrator, Quarian Engineer is meant for that. But honestly, this character is what's meant for that. You know, the way you do a cryo explosion or fire explosion, if you don't know, is that you have to set them on fire or freeze them. Once they're frozen, then you throw, then what will happen is that if you want to get the explosion, you have to kill them with a power. The best powers in the game to kill them with are grenades. So this class in general is really set up to do that. Like, you cryo blast, freeze an enemy, you throw a grenade at it, and it cryo explodes. That is just what will happen. Now, proximity trap on the sticky nades. I don't know if you guys ever used it before, but I've been using it for quite a long time. And it might sound stupid, but it actually works out really well. The idea of it is that because it becomes a proximity mine, the biggest problem, in my opinion, with sticky nades is that what will happen is you'll throw the grenade, at a group of enemies, and unless you stick them, the accuracy on the grenades are really bad. The radius is really, really shitty. The detonation rate on it is like kind of long. I think it's like 3 seconds. So, a lot of times it won't do anything. But with proximity trap, you don't even have to stick them. All you gotta do is like right here. I throw it at the ground, and it's gonna instantly explode. And it does a lot of damage, especially when you're cloaked. So you'll practically kill things with this grenade. And if you don't kill them, you're gonna do a lot of damage to them and almost kill them. So that's generally what you want to do with the sticky nades. Like that's really the point of them. And what I really like about this build is that this is a non-fitness build, meaning that it's a pure power build. It can be kind of like risky because you're not going to have your fitness. You have a high chance of dying, but because you're an infiltrator and if you play smart, then you're going to be able to not really get hit a lot. And that's really what I'm going to be doing throughout this gameplay. It's just rushing them with the shotgun. Now, one thing about this shotgun, let me go ahead and get into this because this is fun with guns, and that's really why you guys are watching this. This shotgun is hands down the most accurate gun in the whole game, probably. It has it has some crazy accuracy, and as you can tell, the reticle is very unique. One thing I do want to say, Chelinkas is going to get assassinated right here early on in this wave, and that's going to cause a lot of problems for us throughout this whole wave. So just try to keep that in mind. This is probably one of the only somewhat fails of a wave. Alright, but anyway, like I was saying, this gun is so accurate that it's almost people always ask me about this gun. They say, well, how is that Crusader? I always tell them the same thing. I'm like, well, you see, it's so accurate that it's inaccurate. Meaning that its accuracy is so great that and if you can't tell right there, that was a crowd explosion, like I said. But its accuracy is so good on this gun that what will happen most of the time is that, you'll go ahead and you'll shoot at them and you'll miss because there's no spread. Shotguns in this game are meant to be very accurate guns because they have pellets, they have spread, and you really can't miss with them. With this gun, yes, you can miss, and it sucks because of that. I really do not like this gun that much, to be honest. It's not one of my favorite shotguns in the game. The two reasons, like I said, is because it's really hard to use. Now I'm gonna make this gun look good. I'm gonna be honest with you. This gun's gonna look pretty good in my hands because I'm gonna have some really good accuracy with it. But I mean, if your accuracy is not like mine, I do not recommend this gun. I really cannot do that. I cannot recommend it, just because it's hard to use. Now, sometimes, I mean, if you guys played with it a lot and got good with it, yeah, it's a pretty consistently good gun. The damage on it is kind of like whatever though. The problem, that's another issue with this gun. This thing, for how much it weighs and everything, it just doesn't have that much damage. Now the good thing though is it does have a really high DPS though. Reason why is because I think it does about 484 damage a shot. If you combine the cloak into that mix, it's going to do I don't know, 900 damage or something. It's going to do a lot of damage. But the downside to the gun is that, really the plus side of the gun is what I mean, I'm sorry, is that, it shoots very quickly. It actually has a really nice fire rate on it, and it has 4 bullets in the clip. So, if you can actually hit things with this gun, if you can actually hit them, that's the key. You gotta hit them. That's the part that's not easy, is actually hitting them. Now, technically, you could literally sit here and snipe enemies from across the map with this gun. You really can. It's really insane. You could sit on Firebase Dagger, and if you had good accuracy with this, because of the reticle and everything, you could just, snipe them from across the map, and you will hit them. But, like I said, the downside to the gun is that it just doesn't, it's so accurate that it's inaccurate. As crazy as that might sound, but that is the truth. Is that if you try to shoot them from if you try to shoot enemies with this, even if you hip fire, no matter what you do with this gun, you can miss very easily, and it can be very frustrating, honestly. Especially if the first time you ever use it or whatever, it can be really trashy. And I remember when I first started using this gun, I played 3 or 4 games, or actually I played quite a few games with this gun on this class when I was leveling it up for this video. And I remember the first game, I hated it. Like, I was so pissed. I was so mad at this gun because it was so freaking bad. It was like, it was so bad. It took me forever to get used to it. Once I got used to it, yeah, I had a lot, you know, it was a lot easier. Like, I had a lot more success with it. But it took me a long time to get used to it, to be honest. And that's really just how it works. Like, that's just what will happen. And you really do need the cryo. You really do need the cryo to help you do a couple things. The first thing you need it for is that it can freeze an enemy, which will just totally make them stop moving, and that should make it really easy to hit them with this gun. And the other thing is that if it doesn't freeze them, it's at least going to stun them for a second, which is going to make it easier to hit them. And it's going to make them move slower, which can also make it easier to hit them. That's the reason why I highly recommend using this. Now, my buddy, Fordell, his name's his gamertag Standby. You might have seen him in a couple videos before. He used to use this gun a lot on the Human Infiltrator, and he used to shred with it. And that's why I chose the Human Infiltrator for this, because I knew the success that he had with it. It must have been something, and the truth of the matter is that, yeah, it's really just this class. This class, you know, with the cryo and you know, everything that you can do, it's awesome. Like, it is awesome. You can have a lot of fun with this gun, but at the same time, it can be very frustrating at times, because, like, as you can tell, its power is decent, but it can be very not decent. Like, you know, when it takes 2 shots at point blank to kill a cannibal, like with a shotgun, come on now, like that can be really dumb. You know, like that it's stupid. Like that, sometimes you can kill him. Honestly, it will take 2 shots to kill him no matter what you do with this gun, unless you actually use cryo on them. The cryo is probably the reason why they're dying sometimes for 1 shot. That's the honest to God truth. And that's, you know, that's really kind of pathetic in a way. So, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, overall, though, this gun is kind of like a very whatever gun. It's kind of gimmicky, in my opinion, like with the whole, let's make a shotgun that has, like, assault rifle reticles. You know, it's stupid. Like, I want a circle. I want something that has spread. It's a shotgun. It's not meant to be able to shoot a guy from 1,000,000 feet away and hit him. It's not supposed to be like that. But that's just how I feel about the gun, at least. Alright, let me continue. Let me go ahead and give you the stats on this piece of shit. Okay, like I said, power is kind of like whatever. It's like hit and miss. Sometimes you'll fuck them up. Sometimes you'll be like, what did you do? You know, like, it can be either way. The accuracy on it, if you can't tell, is absolutely amazing, but also absolutely trash. Like I said, the more accurate a shotgun is, the less accurate it's gonna be, because you don't want it to be accurate. You want it to, like, oh, I shoot you and I hit you because it's so, you know, because my bullets go everywhere because it's a shotgun. So that's one thing to think about. Okay, its firing rate though is very good, and its reload time is pretty good. It's also pretty good. I think it's like a little bit faster than the Rave. So, like, that's kind of a great thing about it. Like I said, the DPS on it is really good if you can consistently hit your target. But the worst stat on this gun, the thing to me that just makes it like one of the worst guns, or at least one of the worst shotguns in the whole game, is honestly the weight. The weight is just so bad. And you might be thinking, well, hey, maybe I can strap this on a Krogan Sentinel or something like that and just use grenades and not have to worry about weight. That is something you could do, but if you're gonna do something like that, hey, yo, just use the Claymore, because, like, this thing, like, I've tried that before with you know, and it just does not work. Like, it is just still, no matter what you do, is not a good gun. The best way to play with it is on an infiltrator, just so that you can do the whole cloak thing. If you guys don't know, weight on an infiltrator really doesn't matter that much, just because, you know, if you can cloak and shoot right away, it's about 4-second recharge time, I think, and it's like pretty consistent. That's nice, but the downside to it is that sometimes you will cloak and, you know, you'll actually have to wait for your recharge, and when that happens, I mean, it is a long recharge. It's like 7 seconds long, and, you know, that can be just a nightmare at times. So, and the way I play with an infiltrator, especially a shotgun infiltrator, is that I constantly cloak. Just because I'm used to doing it like that. You know, I don't really wait to see an enemy. I don't want the enemies to see me. I'm I'm a close range infiltrator. You know, you don't want the enemies to be able to like just come up and see you. This is not a good idea. Now right there, that was a fire explosion, because like I told you before, you know, I mean, this character is really good at getting the explosions because of getting the combos off, the cryo and the fire, just because of the sticky nades. If you use incendiary ammo like I'm using, you'll get fire explosions. If you use the cryo blast, then yeah, you'll get cryo explosions. And on bronze or silver or whatever, yeah, it can be very amazing because like the grenades will instantly kill them. Now on gold, the grenades won't always kill them, especially if you're not using power amplifier 3, which is something I do recommend for this class. But like I said, if you're gonna run around with a heavy weapon like this, yeah, you're probably gonna want to use the shield booster, just because you know you have a high risk of actually taking a lot of damage if the enemies shoot at you, because you know there's always that chance that your recharge time is going to be like insanely long and you're not going to be able to stay hidden. So that's just something to think about. Alright, so let me go ahead and talk a little bit about this gameplay. I believe we're about to be in wave 6. Can't really remember. I think, yeah, we're going to in wave 6 and we're going to upload, and it's like, this is one of the worst upload guys in the whole game. I'm not going to lie to you. The reason why this is a shitty upload is because like it's in the dead middle of the map. And they can literally spawn all around you. They can spawn on the bottom and come up. They can spawn on the right building, on the left landing pad, all that crap. And it can be really terrible. I think right here I'm literally going to pop one of my thermal packs just because there were so many enemies right there. I wanted to, you know, shoot them. Now right there, that's a great example of shooting at the enemy and missing. It can be so annoying. Any other shotgun, if you shoot anywhere around them, yeah, you'll hit them and they'll take damage. But with this shotgun, you literally have to hit them, and it's so annoying at times. You're like, God damn it, can't there be a little bit of a hidden spread? And for the most part, there is somewhat of a hidden spread, but you know, it's so little compared to other shotguns that it's ridiculous. And I don't even think this gun, I believe its damage is not judged off of like damage per pellet, because most shotguns, if you guys don't know, the damage on them are judged by the pellets, because they shoot a ton of pellets, and then for every pellet that hits is, you know, X amount of damage. With this gun, I believe it's just literally a figure, like it's 480 damage. It does like about the same as I believe as the Saber, and in a lot of ways you can compare this to like the Black Widow in damage. You know, it literally can take like 3 shots to kill any, like, you know, marauder kind of. Like it depends. Like even on bronze, well, not on bronze, but on silver or gold, like you can shoot at them and just it can feel like it takes a lot to kill them. All right. So right here we're going to complete the upload, luckily. Like, if you're going to get this upload, you better hope it's going to be on wave 6 and not on wave 10, because on wave 10 it can be, it's one of the hardest objectives in the whole game, to be honest, especially against Reapers on this map. This map is notorious for bad. Honestly, this map is very bad for some uploads. Alright, right here, I'm going to run out of ammo. Now, I don't want to use another thermal pack, and that's a big thing. Like, you do not want to have, you know, if with this character, you want to save your thermal packs for moments that you actually need them for grenades. So I'm not even going to bother. Like, I'm just going to have to go and get ammo, but because of that, I had to leave chelinkas there for a second. But we were able to get them up, so it wasn't really a big deal. Alright, so that was going to be the end of that wave. Now it's going to be the start of wave 7, which, you know, it's kind of like a whatever wave. Any wave against Reapers can be a little bit hard. I'm really excited over this weekend just because of the whole Banshee thing that's going to be going on. Don't really know what's going to happen yet with the Banshees, but I know it's going to be crazy. There's going to be potentially Banshees coming, you know, coming into the waves against Cerberus or Geth. That would be insane. There might be 3 Banshees on the map at a time for Reapers. Who knows? But it should definitely be interesting. And it's going to make the game a lot harder in a way. And that's something this game kind of needs, you know, to some extent. I don't know how you guys feel, but to me, I feel like this game needs to be a little bit harder. You know, I'm sure this game is really hard to some people, but to like me, you know, of course, I don't really find this game that hard. But it's just what it is. So, like, that's something that they need to do. Alright, now, another good tip I can give you about using this gun on this class, if you want to try this, is that if you are ever cloaked for any amount of time and you feel like you're going to, you know, potentially, like, go over the, you know, you gotta remember, you can only stay cloaked for 10 seconds. And because you can only stay cloaked for 10 seconds, if you're going to go over that amount of time, you don't want to sit there and have to wait the full 7 seconds to get your recharge time back. So what I like to do is that if I feel like I'm going to, like, you know, let's say I was going to go get ammo or something and I knew I was going to be cloaked forever, and, you know, I potentially would have to, I'll come uncloaked and stay uncloaked. I like to just melee or shoot or do something to make sure my cloak goes away quickly. Because if you don't do that, then yeah, you know, like I said, you might have to sit there and, you know, wait for it. You don't want that. Like right there, that was an example. It takes 3 shots to kill them, and yeah, that's kind of dumb. But anyway, yeah. So, you know, it's just a good strategy to do with the whole melee to get your cloak away, things like that. And of course, we're going to be really exercising the whole strategy of this game of let's just run away from the banshees. There's really no point to fight them sometimes, honestly, guys, especially like in this, just because if you're gonna fight the banshees, all that's gonna happen is that they're just gonna spawn again. I mean, when you run from a banshee, you do take a risk of like the banshee potentially grabbing you or a couple of your teammates, which I'm pretty sure someone just got grabbed. I think it was Chelinkas. But like I said, you take that risk of that happening. But the good thing that can happen is that, like I said, is that you won't have to actually sit there and fight, you know, 8 banshees on the wave. You only have to fight maybe 1 or 2. So like that's really like this. No, that's one of the secrets to Reapers is that if you want to beat them a lot easier, then just sit there and you know, just kill a couple. Now right here I actually died. I think that was the first time I actually died. You know, but you know, I'm just gonna. I think Drew got me up, so that was what was up. And you know, like, I don't know. I'm really getting tired of this map, though. I keep getting this map, and I'm sorry for uploading this, but like I'm sure a lot of you guys might be a little bit tired of this this map because I've been actually uploading this quite a bit. But yeah, I play Unknown a lot now, so because of that, like, you know, sometimes I just get like the maps I don't really want to get, and this is one of them that I really don't like too much. But I feel like gameplays on this map take a lot longer. I think this gameplay is 32 minutes long, and you know, I hate that. But at the same time, like, you know, this was like, you know, I normally do all this I normally do everything in one try. So like this gameplay was, you know, one try gameplay. So I liked it. You know, I got the gameplay. I was like, all right, yeah, that's pretty good. Whatever. You know, it's going to show off, at least, you know, I'm going to show off the gun. I'm going to show off what it can do, all that kind of good stuff. So that's all that matters anyway. Alright. So, okay, let me go ahead and now start talking a little bit about, like, this gun a little bit more. Okay, if I was going to rate this gun on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it probably, I mean, this is going to be probably the hardest rating I've ever done for a gun. I would probably give it about maybe a 5. Like I said, I don't really know. Like, it depends. Like, it greatly depends. Like, I don't like this gun, so you gotta keep that in mind. So I'm a little biased. But at the same time, as you can tell in this gameplay, it has potential to be pretty good. But, you know, I don't know. It's just, it weighs so fucking much, and it is really hard to hit enemies with. And when you combine those two elements together, like, hey, this gun, it's like the harpoon gun. It's like, all right, it's hard to hit the enemies with. Now, the good thing about that gun is that gun doesn't weigh that much. But if that gun weighed a lot and it was hard to hit enemies with, yeah, that would be like one of the worst guns in the game. And that's one of the reasons why I feel like this gun is one of the worst ones in the game. And in reality, out of the 4 and 7 guns that you get out the combination packs, this gun and the Eagle are kind of worthless compared to the Hurricane and the Valiant. I mean, the Valiant is amazing, and the Hurricane, never played with the gun yet, but you know, I'm definitely like gonna try to get a gameplay with it if possible. And that's one thing I do want to bring up in this video too. I mean, I know I brought it up in my video yesterday, but just in case you didn't see that video, one thing that I did want to bring up is I do actually have the M90 Indra now, and I do actually have a way of playing with the Hurricane. So if you guys wanted to vote for that, vote for those guns in this gameplay, that is okay. Like in this Fun with Guns, that is actually gonna be okay this time. Because, like I said, I can actually get the injured gameplay. I don't know, but I was also just thinking about maybe bringing out gameplay throughout the week of those guns. It's really up to what you guys want to see. So, obviously, if you guys, you know, I'm sure most of you get it at this point. But, yeah, I do need you guys to comment and vote for some type of gun you want to see. Like I said, you could potentially vote for the injured now if you want. Or you can go ahead and vote for the Hurricane. But, like I said, there's a good chance that I might just bring out gameplay with it. So if I do that, then yeah, I'm not gonna pick that for Fun with Guns. So I mean, just keep on the lookout, because like I said, next week I will definitely be potentially uploading a Indra gameplay and a whatever hurricane gameplay. So just look out, just watch my videos next week and see if I upload anything like that, if you're interested in seeing that kind of stuff. But I am really happy I got the Indra too, and I still haven't played with it yet, but I really want to, because it's gonna be fun. I just been kind of lazy, honestly, and kind of busy, so haven't really been playing Mass Effect that much, to be quite honest. But I like I said, I'm enjoying it still, though. I'm still having fun with it, and I'm really hoping that they still release the DLC pretty soon here. I know that I do know now that the Rebellion DLC is still coming out. You guys did correct me on that. I was really happy about that. But that was kind of the point of me bringing it up, was I wanted you guys' opinions and facts, because I have my sources, but I don't know. I don't always believe everything that everyone tells me. So I wanted to hear what you guys have to say, and you guys told me that hey, it's still coming out. It's just was the release date that got pretty much confirmed that was a lie or whatever. And that's great, because this game still really does need its DLC. But the sad part about it is that it does need the DLC quickly. I mean, it needs that DLC right now, because if it doesn't get it, there's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna pretty much be done with this game for a while. And I'm not gonna say myself, but I'm one of the people who I'm starting to feel that way, at least, like that. If they don't hurry up, then yeah, there's a good chance I might stop playing this game, for at least take a break from it or something. I don't know. Just because it can be it's starting to get a little boring, honestly, especially when I've have done everything I could potentially do. I've used every gun in the game, things like that. I've made every character and used them and all that kind of stuff. When you do all that kind of stuff, yeah, the game can be a little bit old, especially when you used all the characters so much that it's just I don't even know what to do anymore. It's just one of those things. But I still definitely want to upload videos and stuff. I still definitely want to put out the content that you guys want to see. So, just keep that stuff in mind. Alright, so right here, chelinkas just went down, unfortunately, and I'm going to go ahead and kill this brute. As you can tell, this gun is pretty good at hitting, big enemies, just because they really are big enough to the point where you can't miss. That's one of the good things, and it does do a decent amount of damage to them. It literally does about Black Widow Valiant kind of damage to enemies, and that was really scary right there. Goddamn, Drew's mom freaked me out. But yeah, it really can do Valiant or Black Widow damage to enemies, and it snipes them too, just like those guns do. So, but in general though, you gotta be able to hit the enemies with it. And there's always that chance. Now, right here, chelinkas was freaking out, but luckily we were able to save him. He's unfortunately been grabbed a couple times in this gameplay, and that sucks. He was talking shit about Drew's mama, and we told him, yo, bro, do not talk shit about Drew's mama, because if you talk shit about her, she will come and get you, and if you do, and that goes for all you guys, do not talk shit about Drew's mama, because she is notorious for coming directly after you if you talk shit to her. And I know from personal experience, and there's a lot of people I play with who also know this by personal experience. Alright, but this is going to be wave 10, thank God. And, we're just going to be pretty much chilling. chelinkas right there rocking two brutes. I was like, what the fuck, bro? Why did you do that? But apparently there was two banshees. But, when they're this weak, I wouldn't say, don't ever waste another rocket. Just shoot them to death and pray that you can kill them before they can actually grab you or something. But, you definitely want to get uploads done, especially in Wave 10. I mean, this is just not... This is, once again, a very bad upload. The uploads on this map, like I was saying, are just really trashy at times, especially on this map, and especially this one as well. This one, I mean, they can spawn all around you. It depends on the faction, though. Reapers will mainly spawn in that building and on this ramp over here. And that's really terrible. I mean, the quicker the banshees can make it into the upload, that's where you gotta be careful, because that's when you're gonna get grabbed and stuff. It's when they can actually make it, into the upload and things. Right there, I was trying to go for a grab like an idiot, but it's really whatever. Then I was trying to, I just shot a rocket. I don't know why I shot that rocket. Honestly, I really don't. Maybe just being greedy. And unfortunately, I think Chelinkus is getting grabbed. Yes, he was. And that sucks. But the main thing, like I said, is just to get this upload done as quickly as possible, just so that we can move on and get the hell out of here. Like the second you can get out the upload, that's great. Now right here, there's gonna be the Banshee's gonna go ahead and chase me. That's actually a good thing though. Is that if one person does leave the upload and then the Banshee's chasing you, that's a great strategy. That's going to really help your teammates out a lot if you're able to do that. But you have to keep moving. Like if that Banshee's right behind you, you do not want it coming up and grabbing you. So that's really the main thing right there. And then unfortunately, I think man, our buddy Cake Fart. Don't ask me why his name's Cake Fart, but it is. He gets grabbed again, right? I mean, literally this whole gameplay, I felt like it was just me and Drew. Not saying that the other guys weren't helping, but saying that they kept getting grabbed. It was crazy. Like, every time chelinkas got grabbed, Cake Fart got grabbed. And, it just would always boil down to me and Drew, like, doing our thing. Now, right there, there's no way I was going to get Drew up. I told him just to get himself up. Just because, it's too risky. It's just way too risky to even try to attempt to get him up with all this stuff going on, all these enemies coming after us and stuff. Right here, I'm just gonna go ahead and drop down the ladder and come up behind them, just pretty much flank them. The main thing is I'm trying to kill all these other enemies before we focus on the Banshees. Like that's very important. Just trying to kill all the enemies on the map. Besides the Banshee, just so we can focus on the Banshee. And I think this is gonna be the last enemy, and we're just gonna pretty much wreck it. Actually, like I said, this gun is really awesome against bigger enemies, especially if you can hit things with this gun. It's a great gun, but if you can't hit, if you miss, then you're gonna have some problems. So something to keep in mind. All right, so that's gonna be. Thank God that wave's over. I'm really happy. Like I said, I had fun in this game. I enjoyed using this gun, but it's one of those things where unless I was playing as a human infiltrator, I would not use this gun. I just wouldn't do it. And I wouldn't recommend it either, honestly. It's just what it is. Unfortunately, that's the truth. That's just what it is. But, I don't know. Alright, so this is going to be the extraction wave. The most important thing that you have to do on this map for extraction is to not stay in the upload at first. You can always make your way over to the upload, but the main thing is just to try to stay on the other side of the map just to lure the Banshees and stuff to you. And then, the other thing that matters a lot too is that anytime the two Banshees come at you in this extraction wave, someone really does need to try to rocket them. Especially if you can get them both in one rocket, because you don't really want them grabbing anybody. I mean, they have such a high chance of grabbing people that you just don't want that to happen. And if you have your thermal packs at this point still, you should also, spam all your nades at any groups of enemies just to try to damage them a lot or kill them potentially. Anything like that would be great. Just pretty basic strategies, but they, really do work. Right there, Cake Fart just went ahead and rocketed that group of Banshees, so that's what's up. I really do like Cryo Blast, though. I'm starting to really like it just for the debuff of it. It's really good for just that alone. I mean, besides that, I don't really think it's that fantastic, but for debuffing and stuff, it's pretty decent. Now, right here, we're going to make our way to the LZ. It might seem a little early for, running to the LZ, but, the main thing, like I said, is just so... I don't know, you don't want to get grabbed. You don't want them coming up behind you right there, and that's what was starting to happen. So, and right here, I'm just going to go in and rocket this Banshee. Or not. I think someone else did, but then I rocket the other one. So, at this point, though, we should be okay until the Banshee... I don't think any other Banshee is going to be really able to make it to us in time for, any of that crap. So, yeah, that's pretty awesome. Alright, so you guys... I really hope you enjoyed this gameplay. Like I said, this gun is I don't know, I would give it a 5 maybe. It's only good on a human infiltrator. It's an okay gun, but it just weighs too fucking much, honestly. So that's pretty much my final verdict on it. But like I said, make sure you leave a comment and you tell me what gun you want to see next week. Very important. And if you don't leave a comment, you can always just thumbs up a gun that you see someone else comment, and that will really help me out, especially if one is a clear-cut winner with 40 votes. But yeah, that's going to be it pretty much like I said. So please comment, like, and subscribe, and have a nice day.